Arguing with your woman. This happens constantly. Not just the arguing, but the people coming to our space wondering how they can win these arguments. Well, I'm here, finally, to tell you guys how you can win every argument from now on, forever. You're not gonna like the answer, though, because you're a giant, tripping, Men and women are different. I know it's politically incorrect to say that right now, and that kind of makes me laugh. I mean, the day when basic biology is a taboo topic. Anyways, who are you? You're the guy with a girlfriend. Maybe she's your first girlfriend. Maybe she's your longest girlfriend. Maybe you've actually made it as far as a marriage, a long-term relationship. Maybe you have a few rugrats, real estate. Maybe you have a healthy bedroom, or maybe you have a dead bedroom. Maybe she's a stay-at-home mom. Maybe she's a ball-busting career sociopath. Maybe she's a beast in the boardroom and eviction in the bedroom. It doesn't matter who you are, how you found her, or where you are in your life. You will have an argument thrown at you. Why? Because women are never happy. I mean, men are never happy, but we as men, we bottle that up. And we release it when we have to throw a beer bottle through the TV because the Broncos didn't beat the spread, or the Leafs lost their 61st straight Stanley Cup playoff round. Girls can learn how to deal with our nonsense from Ellen. She took them on as the charity case, not me. But you're an idiot. You nod your head and clap when somebody tells you that men and women are different because you're a smart guy. You know that letting a 43-year-old man share a bathroom with your 9-year-old daughter may not be the best idea. I mean, it may be fine, but you don't have a lot of daughters, so you'd rather not take the chance. Thank God you're not like your wife, who watches Ellen, listens to some new issue of the day, and nods and claps when she gives a milquetoast hot take. The point here, though, is that no argument matters. If it does, then you elevated your wife to the position of co-man of the house. I mean, it's no wonder she argues with you then. She didn't ask for the job. That job has a chance of failure, and no girl wants to get anywhere near failure. Give her the participation trophy and get back to work, bucko. The first reason that you shouldn't argue with your woman: almost nothing you want to argue about is going to matter at all. You know the saying, if you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Pick your battles. If you're gonna open your stupid mouth, do it as little as possible. This maximizes the chances that anybody around you is gonna take your complaining seriously. And even then, they probably won't. The second reason you shouldn't argue with your woman is that you're being unattractive and she's probably not even trying to argue. There's something about the way a woman's brain is wired. I don't know how it works, but guys have this bus stop on the path between the thinking part of the brain and the speaking part of the brain, where it can process things. For women, the speaking part of the brain, it is the processing part. And we can be kind and say it's a social mechanism where everybody around her can be part of the problem-solving process, or we can be unkind and say that women don't have the ability to process things without help. The why here really doesn't matter. Just know that it happens. So if she's complaining about something that you don't think is worthy of complaint, go be somewhere else. A high-value man like you surely has something better to do. And if not, and you find yourself trapped on the sofa hearing how Susan from HR did something which was probably on accident, but definitely did it to screw with your woman, well then you have nobody to blame but yourself. You put a big vacancy sign on your empathy hotel, and she moved in for the month. Third reason you shouldn't argue with your woman: if you see the need for her to see a certain point you're making, you're validation seeking, unattractive, and probably raised by a single mom who taught you the wrong way to deal with people. People generally argue because they want the other person to see their point of view, or to simply argue for sport. And if you're arguing for sport, there's much better uses of your time. Argue with a friend or go online. There's tons of people that need correcting. Your woman is not there for you to stave off your intellectual boredom. She's there for happy fun sex times, the occasional sandwich, and to fill that primate need we have for a soft lavender-smelling skin to be somewhere near us. Oh, probably the baby maker too if that's your thing. If you have a working woman in your house, you know how bad she handles stress, so don't give her additional jobs and responsibilities at home. You want her focused on the stuff that matters. See the last 30 seconds of this video. But adding value to your life, seriously. It sounds weird, but hear me out. A woman who looks up to you, loves you. A woman who sees you as your best option gets dopamine spikes by doing nice things for you. Let her do what she do. Stop telling her that she needs an opinion on the latest Marvel movie's marketing campaign. And the last reason you shouldn't argue with your woman is that you don't need her to think what you think. You need her to act how you want her to act. If you've made the decision that she picks up the kids from daycare, you've already seen why it makes the most sense. Maybe her schedule is more flexible. Maybe you're tired, you just got back from a 12-month deployment in Iraq and you just want an afternoon to quietly stare at the wall. Maybe she's a stay-at-home mom and she knew what she signed up for. The reasons don't matter. Only that it's the reason you chose. By arguing, all you do is undermine your position as captain of the household. Remember when I said earlier that you don't want to give her additional responsibility? Yeah, you don't need two captains. Alright, bonus meme here. If the argument is you being a lazy, useless something or other, well, that's not an argument, that's a berating. In this case, if a 4-year-old girl calls you a poopy head, do you drop kick her right there and then? Do you argue with her? Or do you pat her on the head, tell her finger paintings are nice, place them on the fridge, and head off to find something better to do than be berated for absolutely nothing? Then again, her frustrations may be kind of justified too. In which case, you could spend that time dealing with how you forgot to pick the kid up from school, and now she's been missing for a week. Yeah, oops. Regardless, arguments won't bring her back, and she's wasting valuable search party time by bitching at you. For those in the cheap seats, I'll say it again. Arguing with your woman is a waste of time. If you're doing it because it's an argument of something that really doesn't matter, you're wasting your time. If she's berating you, and you're sitting there trying to argue that she's wrong, you're wasting your time. If you're arguing about something because you're bored and you just want to start a fight, there is much better ways to use your time. If you're doing it because you're having to justify the decisions you've already made for the best of the family, then you're wasting your time. The point of the story is, every time you have an argument with your girl, you're wasting your time. Now you can ask yourself, if you're this kind of person that argues over absolutely everything you do, why do I have to sit here and not argue back? Well, the question you gotta ask yourself is, why is she there in the first place? What value does she add? I guarantee if you start asking that question and taking some actions towards fixing it, you'll probably see those arguments taper off, one way or the other. On that note, thank you guys for listening this far. I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon community. You guys are the best, and you're the whole reason that this works. It's a good switched on group of guys. We're building up a nice little private community where men can swap notes and talk in an unfiltered manner. We don't have to worry about big tech sneaking in on us there. But it's the price of a fancy cup of coffee, and it's well worth your while. On that, I'll catch you guys later. Take care. A lot of what we discuss isn't socially acceptable. In this age of social media, you have to be careful. Luckily, we have a tight group of men in our Patreon, and we take off the filters so that we can speak frankly with each other, swap notes, and improve in the ways that matter to us. Check out the link in the description. For a couple bucks a month, you can have exclusive access to this stuff in its raw form and more. Plus, those awesome guys are the only reason we can keep putting out these videos.